I don't know who was talking too much, me or you, before the camera went on, but it's been quite a conversation. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. I'm David Burrows. My friend Jay Peckham joining me here. And tonight, looking for another win to get into the W column. A much-needed win here tonight as the Sarnia Sting host the Flint Firebirds, which notably have not won any games. They are 0-11 right now. And we do have to point out, though, that this was a team that last year, even though near the bottom of the league, most of the season, the whole season really, was a thorn in the thigh of the Sarnia Sting. So I'm a little, maybe, I don't know, should we be a little nervous?
I'm predicting a W.
You know, if you keep predicting W's, sooner or later you're going to be right.
Yeah.
Well, interesting against the London Knights, though.
Well, you know what? I mean, we've had some close games. It's clear we're still just trying to figure stuff out. So at some point it's going to click and things will go well.
Yeah.
You know,
well, tonight, let's talk about clicks. A bit of a change-up on the starting line as Braden Guy is going to start with Sean Jostling and Ryan McGregor. Normally we would see Hugo in there.
That's not a bad.
That's
not a bad gig. I think
Braden's been doing making a lot of moves out there.
Well, and here's where you got to talk about, you know, the sort of the mix of players, right, that you've got with, because, you know, there's a couple of different possible strategies, I would think, if from the coach, where you would either, sort of load up one line that, tends to be that killer line, or do you maybe distribute out a little bit and bring, and so you have maybe two or three moderately good lines, and hope that has some impact, and hope that you find some chemistry with different guys on different lines. So, I think Braden Guy, he's had a number of good games. I think he's been a pretty strong performer so far this season.
I absolutely agree. I'm kind of happy to see him. Because the other thing is, if you keep putting the same lines out, there's some predictability that comes along with that.
Absolutely.
And the other team, maybe, they got two. Why is he in there? What can we expect from that?
Yep.
We can even go down to the defense line where Mitch Elliott's going to be starting on the defense as well. Mitch has really stood out. He's
100%.
I think he's like 2 goals and 8 assists already this year. So
he's certainly having a good season so far, and that's where I think maybe this is a good strategy. Spread it out a little bit. I think this is not to say anything against Hugo, because Hugo has also played well for us. We've seen some great moments, but maybe we'll find some better chemistry with him on another line where
maybe not even
he might be able to elevate that line a little.
It's definitely not against anything against Hugo. I think it's like, let's mix it up and see if we can get more than one line that clicks.
Absolutely.
Right, and work with that, and all of these players, as we continue to say, each brings something to the arena.
Oh, absolutely.
I think we're going to see some interesting combinations out there tonight again.
And here's a good place to try things out. When we're playing a team that is, clearly struggling this season, and it's a chance for us to really, allow some of our mixed lines a chance to shine. This is a step up kind of opportunity for these guys.
I haven't really. I'll be honest. I really haven't looked at the Flint Firebirds other than they're not scoring. Have you been able to take a closer look?
You know what? As much as I'd like to say yes, the answer is no.
All right, so we should probably do our homework a little bit. But I mean, I'm just curious what their struggles are.
No. I don't need to do homework. I can shoot my mouth off about anything and anywhere.
Well, you're good at that.
That's my job as a fan in the stands.
It's Ethan Langevin starting again tonight. Hearing more conversations. You and I have had them off camera, but a lot of the fans around here, they say there really is a kind of a who's going to be number one as far as these goalies going on here. I think it's, I don't know if we'll see, how often we'll see Blair Coffin out there again or not.
It's hard to say. I mean, he had an unfortunate showing recently, which is, kind of hard to, to continue to follow that up, right? But, Ethan, the real caution with Ethan is simply, you got a younger guy, and he's had a couple of good games. And he's probably arguably one of our better in our goaltenders
That's the consensus, I think.
Lineup, and I think that the only caution is, with these younger guys, is that you don't want to burn them out. You don't want to lay the full weight of a winning season on them.
You don't get as many opportunities to play a goalie as you do to a player.
Fair enough,
right? So I mean, you can take a player off the bench and go, okay, you got 2 minutes out there.
But goaltending is a major league stressful position, and it's hard because the other guys, they might always be skating, which the goaltender's not, but don't sell it short because having those short spurts of intense focus and activity and then nothing for a little bit, it can be just as demanding,
right?
As actually being out on the ice all the time and skating around and stuff, because those guys at least get to sit every couple of minutes.
Well, that's right.
You know what I mean?
And let's talk about the effect that, and I asked Mitch Elliott this post-game last week to see what you have to say about it. I said, when you change a goalie mid-game at any point, particularly, I mean, usually I think you probably see a goalie change come third period or end of second, typically, right?
Depending on the circumstance,
does that have an effect on the defense team when you switch a goalie in mid-game like that? Does the defense or offense, do they have to change their way of playing when there's a different goalie in there, or they just have to go, we got to keep playing our thing and hope the goalie makes it work?
Yeah, and that's a good question. I mean, I've had some conversation with some friends down in my section about that. And I mean, here's the thing that we sort of came up with is that, the team does tend to play differently depending on who's in net.
Right.
Because if let's say you got, Gary Price, or, you got some superstar in behind you, you know what, you might be able to play a little more aggressively in the forward zone because you know that if the worst case happens, you've got somebody you can rely on to stop the puck 9 out of 10 times. So you take more chances.
Sure.
Whereas if you've got somebody who's new, unsure of themselves and stuff, you might play more defensively in order to try and shore up the number of potential opportunities for the other team to score. So, I would say absolutely a team plays very different depending on who's in goal. And their opportunity to play different is changes.
Yeah.
So I think it is absolutely to be said that there's a different feel on the ice depending on who's in net, and it's important to make sure you manage that.
I would think that the conversations in the locker room between player and goalie, I don't play the game, but if I did, I'd be before intermission, after, over coffee, whenever. I'd be having a conversation with you going, okay, so what can I do to help you? Am I in your way? Am I blocking you? Like, whatever that looks like. Well, that has to be ongoing conversations off the ice.
Yeah, well, and absolutely, because, let's not forget, hockey's a team sport. You know what I mean? And really, anybody who's going to go out on put the lace on the skates and get out there, they really have to, look at that from the perspective. So you got to be doing what's best for the team.
Yeah.
So...
Well, we haven't really seen... There's that team thing for sure, and this is a team because we haven't, unlike last year, there was a couple that really stood out as superstars. We haven't seen it yet. I think we see some budding superstars on this team.
Absolutely.
But at this point, and even then, they still all have to play the same speed, so nobody's playing catch-up. And help each other out and create all that depth that we like to see.
Communication on the ice is really, really important and stuff like that. But you're right, absolutely. It's a team sport, and everything's got to come together and gel in order to put together a win. Right from coaching staff all the way up, right? And goaltending and defense and offense. They all have to communicate and play together. It's just the way it's got to be.
The fans have to cooperate too.
Well, yeah, and we're not real good at that.
Sometimes. Well, you can hear the buzz happening here in the arena. That means getting ready to bring both teams out here on the ice. Speaking of a team, we got just another minute or two. Jamison Reese is somebody still missing from the bench.
Yeah.
Got to be coming back soon, right? So I know there's a lot of anticipation there. And what will he bring when he does return? Sometimes he can you be off too long and lose your mojo?
Well, yeah, sure. I think that's always the fear, right? But, we don't want him to come back before he's ready because we need him to be strong. And this is the second time since we've had him where he's been off for an extended period of time. But every time he's come back, it's been some really, really exciting hockey. And clearly we miss Jamison Risa on the ice for us. But definitely we want him to be healthy when he comes back. We want him definitely to be at 100%.
Maybe it's too long. I don't know. Sometimes being off too long maybe feeds the hunger. Like, man, I can't wait to get out there, and it's like I'm a kid again, right? So here we go. All right, they're bringing out the teams here. We'll keep you updated throughout this first period, and hopefully a W here tonight for the Sarnia Sting, as they really need to get back in the game, so to speak. Not sure who's going to... Jake Chersky might be joining me later. I don't see him yet, but we've always got Jay.
Well, if you have to, we put him in when you have to.
We know that he hates the camera a lot, so... Anyway, keep watching us everywhere. Follow along on Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff. We'll keep you updated. Once again, as the Sarnia Sting get ready to take on the Flint Firebirds for the show live on location. And my friend Jay Peckham, I'm David Burrows.
Go Sting, go!
Thanks for watching.